Hey Jimny family, as you can see the base rack is now fitted to the roof of the Jimny. It's been on for a few days, so I've been doing a little bit of driving. Overall, really happy with the product, it's really fantastic. Not much wind noise, the wind deflector does quite a good job. There's maybe between 90 and 100 kilometers an hour. Do I notice a little bit of wind noise, but in comparison to other roof racks I've had in the past, it's pretty minimal. One thing that I do notice is that when I hit a bump or something on the road while driving at speed, you would have heard that the wind deflector does knock against the base rack, but that can be taken care of with maybe just a small rubber spacer just to put in the gap there. The base rack was not perfectly aligned, so it was slightly off, skewed to the side. I did post a photo on Instagram, might have noticed that. So I did have to loosen up a few things just to reposition that. Also, didn't have to take it off the roof. That was pretty easy to do. One thing I can say is that I'm not too sure about these clamps. Once I had the clamps on, I noticed that the clearance between the door as well as the clamp was really really small, maybe 1 to 2 millimeters or even less. So you have to tighten it really tight to get the clamp out of the way of the door. And what you have over here are rubber clamp covers that go between the Jimny's roof gutter and the clamp, which is pretty good. Obviously it protects the gutter, but because you tighten it quite a bit, there's a bit of curvature on the side of the clamp. So what that did was it actually cut through the rubber clamp cover and actually made a hole in the rubber clamp cover. So not too sure about that. Structurally, I understand that because it's curved on the sides, it gives a little bit more, I don't know, strength reinforcement. But I was wondering that if this clamp was maybe flat all the way, similar to the front runner gutter clamps, that it wouldn't have the issue of cutting through the rubber clamp covers onto the roof. But overall, really happy with it, pretty good. So what I'm going to be doing now is taking the dune awning and attaching it to the side, the passenger side of the vehicle. This awning is 1.4 meters along the side of the car, and it extends 2 meters away from the car. Got it from Anaconda Stores in Melbourne. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'll fit it, make a video, and then maybe do a bit of a test, and you can let me know what you think. I'll let you know what I think, and maybe it is the awning that you would like to get. Just before I get started, this is the ARB Base Rack quick release awning bracket. So you can take a look at that. That's what that looks like. And then I'll also show you the spring-loaded tie-downs for the ARB, and I'll show you how they fit onto the crossbars on the base rack. These are two parts of the quick release awning bracket from ARB. So I'd say the basics of how it works is that these two are going to clamp together, and they're going to clamp onto the side rail of the ARB awning. It's going to look something like that, and then once that is on, this bracket is going to attach to the back of the awning, and it's going to just slide in and slide into position. So that's the basics of how it's going to work. I'm putting my awning on the left-hand side of the car, on the passenger side of the car, and I guess you can choose which side, and it's up to preference and how you reason it, what your reasoning is going to be for it. But for me, it's just that so I felt that if the awning is on the left-hand side, there'll be a bit of flow into the rear of the car, and I don't have to walk around the back of the door. So that's my reasoning, but I know that there's a number of other reasons why people would put them on the driver's side. Drop a comment, let us know which side you put your awning on your vehicle, and also tell me if I'm wrong to put the awning on the left-hand side of the vehicle. Maybe if there's really good reasoning, I'll switch it over to the driver's side. The first thing we're going to be doing is assembling the brackets using the M8 bolts, washers and nuts. But once you've assembled it or put it together, just tighten the nuts 3 to 4 turns, and then once the bracket is in place on the dovetail of the base rack and in the correct position, you can use a torque wrench if you have one to achieve the correct torque. When mounting the awning to the base rack, you can have the awning mounted above the base rack, or you can flip the bracket around and you can have the awning mounted below the base rack. If you do decide to mount the awning lower down, just make sure that you can open and close your car door. To position the brackets on the rack, you'll need to measure the length of the awning, as the gap between the two brackets should not be longer than 2/3 the length of the awning, and then also from the bracket to the end of the awning, once it is positioned on the rack, it shouldn't be more than 600 millimeters. Once you've measured the gap between the brackets and you've got them in the position that you want them in, you can use either a torque wrench or a spanner to tighten up the bolts to the prescribed torque. Once you have mounted the bracket onto the dovetail, this is just a quick view of what it will look like if it is facing up for a higher mounting. The dune awning does come with its own nuts, bolts and mounting bracket, so what we're going to be doing now is inserting the bolts required into the back of the awning. You will see that in the middle of the awning there is a space where you can slip the bolts in and then slide them across into place so that we can put the awning mounts onto the awning. Before fixing the awning brackets to the awning, remember to pop the stud through either the top, center or bottom hole of the awning bracket. Because I used 93 centimeters as the gap between my two brackets, I'll measure 93 centimeters along the distance of the awning to position the brackets in the middle. Thereafter, I'm just going to be lifting the awning up to the mounts just to make sure that the spacing was correct. Then we'll just quickly fasten up the nuts on the awning bracket. Loosely fasten the flange nuts to the studs on the awning bracket, and then just insert it through the large hole on the brackets and then slide it either left or right to engage the studs to the bracket, and then you can fasten it up, and this is what it's going to look like once it is fastened, and that is the hole that it will slide through. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'll just show you what the ARB spring-loaded tie-down looks like and how it attaches to the dovetail. Alright everyone, that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. It was the fitting of the 1.4 meter dune awning from Anaconda Stores to the ARB base rack using the ARB quick release awning mounts. If you found this video helpful and you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to follow along with any additional accessories we're going to be adding to the Jimny and any new videos we're going to be uploading to YouTube, give the channel a subscribe, and then we'll be able to see you guys again in the future. For now, hope everyone's having a great day and safe driving.